Hello to all the young people, all of you who are young at heart, and those of you joining us online today. It's so good to be with you. Now, yesterday, I saw a few snow flurries. Did anybody else see those? Yes, they happened. It was happening. Winter is on its way. So last week, when it was in the 60s and maybe even 70s, I had heard the cold was coming. So I thought, this is my chance. I got to get out into the woods. So I went on one of those really warm, beautiful days, and it was maybe 2 or 3 o'clock, but because of the time change, it already seemed like the sun was really low, almost like it was about to start setting. And everything in that light looked so beautiful. That's why photographers call it the golden hour, because it just looks like everything is magical. So I stepped off of the main bike path and walked onto the little dirt path so I could get a little bit closer to the woods and the creek that was going by. And I could hear the crunch of the leaves under my feet. And when I stopped, I could hear the birds singing in the treetops. And when I got really still on a log, I could almost hear the quiet creek bubbling past. And then the loudest creatures I heard were squirrels that loved to scamper in the leaves on the ground. It was like the whole forest was singing. It seemed like the whole forest was just as happy as I was to be sitting there in that golden light. And for me, it made me want to write poetry. That's what happens to me when I go in the woods and I feel full of joy. Words start coming. And so I got out my phone, was all I had, and I jotted some thoughts down. It made me think of another time when the sun was really so beautiful it inspired some joy. This is about Sylvia when she was maybe 2 or 3 years old, and we woke up really early in the morning then. I bet you know those times in the back. And our window faces east, where the sun rises. And one morning we looked out the window, and the sun was just starting to rise, and it was like the golden hour, but the morning kind. And little Sylvia looked out the window, and she made up a song. She started to sing, "Oh, glory, my sunshine, oh, glory, my sunshine." You can imagine that made me feel even more joyful, because joy spreads, right, when we share it? In our psalm that we heard from Gary this morning, the author talks about how we should sing a new song to God. It made me think of little Sylvia and her pure joy singing out for that beauty of creation. And the other thing that I like about what the author describes is that it's a new song. It's not one we already know, and there's not one way to sing it, right? The author talks about a lyre, which is some kind of instrument, I don't even know what that is, a trumpet, a horn. It talks about the waves crashing and the earth singing. Because God has given us each our own song to sing, our own way to express joy. So maybe like Sylvia, you'll make up a new song, or like the choir and our musicians. Or maybe the way that you sing out is by writing poetry or sharing stories with someone. Maybe you make a joyful noise by giving a hoot and doing a cartwheel through the field, or laughing loud with friends. However you do it, God has done marvelous things, and there is so much to feel joyful about. Let's spread that joy. Let your song sing out. Let's share a prayer together. Dear God of joy, thank you for music, the way it can lift us up and spread joy and praise. Thank you for the beauty of creation. Seeing nature, it seems easy to remember how great you are. Help me to trust the special song in my own heart and my own way to make a new joyful noise for you today. Amen. Young people are invited to head with Rhonda and Barbara to Sunday school if they'd like. And I wish you all